Fleischers in a great new show. C'est an all-new Saturday morning. You see it bien, c'est an all-new Saturday morning.
Hello and welcome to Classic Cartoon Rewind, where we invite you to watch along with us as we journey through every cartoon based on a comic book from 1940 to 1999. I am your host, Carter Hutchison.
And I'm your co-host, Mike Thomas.
And Mike, here we are again with our Max Fleischer Superman series. We're doing episodes, this is episodes 5 and 6. So we're covering the Bulleteers, and I think the name of the second one is the Magnetic Telescope.
Oh, my favorite
right,
one.
That's a gripping title, right?
Man,
I guess in 1942.
Get me right in this episode, man. I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Panache to it. I'm going to do something just a little bit different than we've done the past 2 times. I'm going to give you like world events that happened the same month that the episodes we're watching came out, okay?
Sounds good.
So the first episode we're watching, the Bulleteers, came out on March 26th of 1942. So here are some other events from 1942. First of all, a Michael Eisner was born, who eventually, runs Disney, basically turns Disney into what we know it as today. Aretha Franklin was born in 1942. The first class of 5 African-American Tuskegee Airmen graduated. So
nice.
That was a cool fact.
Yeah.
In a depressing fact, the Nazis began the deportation of Jews to Auschwitz concentration camp with the deportation of 1,000 single women from Slovakia.
Hey.
Yeah. So that's starting to happen now as well. Unbeknownst to the rest of the world, obviously, we wouldn't find out about the Holocaust until
afterwards.
The war.
Yeah.
President Franklin D. Roosevelt. I just thought this was funny that this was kind of a thing, but it makes sense during rationing, I guess. FDR set a proposal to all 48 states. That's right.
48.
All 48 states.
Wow.
That the speed limits throughout the nation be reduced to 40 miles per hour to conserve rubber.
That makes
was a
sense.
Thing. Yeah. It makes sense when you think about it, but can you imagine someone trying to do that today?
Oh, God, it would be terrible.
It would never happen.
Well,
People would never
people's
do
mindsets
it
were
either.
different. Like, if we were in another world war, half the population would be like, we're not doing this, and the other half would be
Unless
like, we are doing
have
this.
as like clearly unifying of a bad guy as we had
that's true.
as World War II.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
That is the most just modern war.
I still think, though, that there would be some people in the United States who'd be like, why are we even doing this?
Why are we fighting Nazis? Yeah, they're called Republicans. Anywho's, also in 1942 news, Douglas MacArthur arrived in Australia and was appointed commander of the Combined Allied Forces in the Southwest Pacific. So that's big news, right? MacArthur is now head of the Pacific Fleet.
Pacific Theater, if you want to get technical.
Sure, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, but before we break into the episode here, a quick message from our Patreon. All of Grassroots Comics is funded through our Patreon, patreon.com/grassrootscomics. For as little as $1 a month, you can become part of the Grassroots Comics community, which includes many perks, such as having your name mentioned in this segment of every episode of the podcast, the ability to suggest topics of discussion for shows like These Guys Have Issues, access to the private Grassroots Comics subreddit where members can continue discussions started on the podcast or start their own, behind-the-scenes access to the GRC studio, and early access to digitally released comics and Classic Cartoon Rewind. So it is the goal of all of us here at Grassroots Comics Productions that one day the Patreon is strong enough where we are able to produce the stories, artwork, and stop-motion animation shorts pitched and selected by the Grassroots Comics community. But the only way that becomes possible is with a strong Patreon. So if you feel that the entertainment value you receive from this podcast is at least worth 25 cents, then please become a Patreon contributor today, and with our powers combined, we can have all of our stories heard. All right, now let's get on with the rest of the show. All right, for those who are watching along at home with us, we have the Paramount logo on pause. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time here to pull that up if you need to. Again, you can legally watch the Max Fleischer Superman series on the DC streaming app. They're also available on YouTube as well. So I am pressing play in 3, 2, 1.
Swoosh.
Got the
Subtitles
closed captioning on
Yeah.
there just in case. In Technicolor. I guess that is a big thing at this point.
It was a big thing.
Colorful, anything really, live action or animated.
Yeah.
So the Bulleteers. This one is going to seem a little bit like the train one we had, $1 Billion Limited.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's the same kind of like robbers going after
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. But which today these would be such small stories for an actual Superman comic.
Oh, definitely.
Like, you could maybe do this kind of stuff in Action Comics the way that Brian Michael Bendis is currently doing it. Where right now Action Comics is like the Metropolis book.
Yeah.
You see Clark doing a lot of like investigative journalism and stuff, and Superman
Saving cats
is the
from trees.
more Fires is the first arc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So my bad.
yeah, but he's doing actual detective stuff.
Yeah. Get it? Detective Superman.
Like a super detective.
Like a Superman detective. Oh, wait. You just did Lego Batman there.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look at this jet car.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Or rocket
The
car, I
design
should
of it,
say.
yeah. Or a bullet car.
Car.
Oh,
Oh, there it is. Bullet car destroys
police.
police headquarters.
Car mysteriously disappears. Police baffled. Boy, Lois Lane has the wordiest headlines.
Get me Lois Lane and Clark Kent.
And only one of them will come back with a story.
Michael, or what's his name? Lawrence Fishburne? Great Perry.
He would be, yeah. Or is. Yeah,
Yeah,
excuse me.
Great
Yes,
Perry.
is.
Your mayor.
So we've got these guys, the drivers of the Bulleteer car, the bullet car, basically holding the city for ransom that they're going to destroy another building unless the whole amount of the treasury is handed over to them.
So what was really funny is that looks like the same mountain that the laboratory was on
I can see that.
in the first episode.
He had to find somebody else to rent it. And,
Exactly,
there's really
yeah.
not a lot of demand in that area
For a
except
telescope.
for supervillains.
Yeah.
So I also thought the costume design was very similar to the guys from the $1 Billion Limited.
Yeah, definitely. Also looks like the Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
I love how they're getting ready for, like, war.
Well, it's a bullet car, man. Like, how do you prepare for that? Try
By
to
having the
shoot
National
it
Guard come
down?
in here. I mean, it's like these guys are dressed up like they're in the trench warfare right now.
They have their World War I
helmets on.
Yeah.
Their get up.
Mayor defies threats of Bulleteers. Yeah, that's
Dramatic
gonna make 'em
music.
mad.
Or
Of course, you've
intense
got
music.
the bad guys smoking there. This is the first time that I actually noticed the kind of like not great quality of the, as far as how the film is held up. You can see a lot of like pops and stuff, a
Yeah.
lot of kind of staticky. This series would benefit greatly from a HD remastering.
Oh, definitely it
It
would.
would be gorgeous.
Oh my gosh. And we love the fact that the art is great and now.
Mhm. It'll look even better. When the mountainside just kind of opened up to let the
You
car
could
out,
tell.
that looks a lot like the Batman the Animated Series exit to the Batcave, doesn't
Oh,
it?
it does. Oh, and the bullet car just turned into a bullet plane.
Well, the wings are retractable, as
Oh.
we'll see here soon.
Oh, okay.
They go back into the plane as well. Yep, there you
Ah.
go. And that's
Oh,
when
it's
really
now it's a
the bullet car.
oh gosh. By the way, you're a Game of Thrones fans like I am. The hoods look like the hoods that the Freys wear from the twins.
Okay.
So. Uh-oh.
So they hit the power plant, it would seem, and cut
Oh no!
all power to the city.
bridge. Got all the power to airplanes.
Well, they don't have takeoff lights and stuff anymore, right? Or like air traffic control people, radio.
Oh, okay.
You're literally flying blind.
What about a car? Does it affect the
You
car?
can go. No, it's not an EMP,
just wanted to
which
know,
we don't
man.
know about at this point.
Best line in the whole show. Oh, he's actually in a phone booth too.
Yeah,
This is the first time he's changed in a phone booth.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I love that costume, man.
Me too.
Oh,
I saw that
Whoa.
too. You see the S
S
kind of did
switched.
it maybe from one frame
To
someone got
another.
the S backwards.
Yeah. Huh. That was pretty neat. I never noticed that.
Mm-hmm. I
I wonder
saw a
if they do
sweater
that.
the other day when researching this one. It was that logo on that Superman logo on a sweater, and I really wanted to
Oh
buy
my gosh, yes. We got Thompson submachine guns.
it. Yup. I love all the searchlights too, going over for
Mhm.
the trying to find the bullet car.
Man, Superman just caught an I-beam
Right.
like it was nothing. Can you tell me the caliber of bullet that is?
Too big.
Oh, it's so funny now. Now that I see their helmets, it's like the shape of a bullet. That
There it is. They're really pounding that theme home, you know.
Yeah, like you're pounding lead.
That was the shot that I told you about in the first episode of like how human the motions look and how rotoscoping was used
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that, where he lifts his leg up to gain leverage to push off of the side of the building there.
Yeah.
That's something you wouldn't see in cartoons like that for a long time. It's funny that this is like 30 years before Super Friends, and the animation style is not even comparable
no.
of how much better quality the
Yeah.
Max Fleischer Superman series is.
That's crazy to think about. Oh, Lois is now destroying the bullet car
Mm-hmm.
plane,
Trying to sabotage him.
but ends up being caught like she
to
always
no
does.
avail. And
Power scaling yet again.
yeah.
Oh snap!
That image always stuck with me too as a kid. How Superman was rolling back
Yeah.
the wings of the plane like you would when you're opening up like a can of vegetables or something.
Yeah. It's like rolling up paper. Anytime that anytime that
And then
can
that too.
opener,
Yeah, just literally.
I feel like
ripping it
that
open
anytime
like a
that
can.
Superman does stuff like that, it's always got to be metal. Like
True.
when he catches the satellite, or oh no, in
Superman destroys bullet car, saves city from the total destruction, then vanishes.
by Lois Lane.
Why read the article?
I know, right? You don't
He
even have
told
to.
you the
That's
beginning, the
everything.
middle, and the end.
I had a friend that told me he was in communications.
Did you see that billboard next to him said buy defense bonds? So we're actually seeing actual signs of World War II
Okay.
in the series.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
buried their lead there. Yeah.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Oop, let me go back here. Yeah, so that was episode 5, the Bulleteers. Thoughts?
I liked it. Power scaling is like a huge thing,
Mm.
you know. But like I was saying, anytime that we see Batman, Superman, like crunch metal, pull metal back, roll metal, or anything like that, it's like he does that in any Superman ever. Like
Yeah.
Superman Returns, Brandon Routh catches the plane. You see him like bend the metal around his hands to like
yeah.
it buckles around. And Man of Steel, he's got the satellite that he catches, and like he kind of bends
Crumples,
it. Yeah,
right.
it crumple. Well, there's one where he catches it and crumples it, and there's one where he like flexes it down and it like arcs a little bit.
Mm.
Then he sets it down. It's just something that always sticks out to me is that Superman can crumple the metal.
Yeah.
Like it's in
I feel
everything.
like it's usually like chains too. Like
Yeah.
that's an image you see a lot of Superman breaking chains.
Breaking chains, biting chains, like
Yeah,
just
he must really dislike chains.
chains. Yeah, I mean, you got to think about how like he was. His wisdom came from Moses, and his strength came from Samson.
Not Shazam.
No, Samson. Biblical figures, bro.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure. That
The original
two
run,
creators
yeah.
would have been influenced by.
Mhm.
Sure.
So
okay.
breaking chains.
I thought you were trying to make a Shazam joke, like the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas,
Oh,
the
no.
power of Zeus.
I was going to
speed
make a
of
Game of
Mercury.
Thrones, breaker of chains, Daenerys Stormborn,
Oh, word. Okay,
son of Krypton,
sure.
Superman,
Son of Krypton, Kal-El.
Kal-El.
All right, so the next episode is the Magnetic Telescope. Yeah, not a very good title there. Kind of boring. But this one premiered in April of 1942 on the 24th. So some other world events that were going on at the same time. The actress Sandra Dee was born. Does that name ring a bell to you at all?
Grease?
Sandra? Yes, that's exactly how I know it. Yeah, look at me. I'm Sandra Dee. But so she was born in 1942. Barbra Streisand was born in 1942. I did not know she was that old to be honest with you. The German Reichstag convened for what would be its final session. Hitler gave a long speech asking for total legislative and judicial power that would give him the right to promote or punish anyone with no regard to legal procedures. The Reichstag agreed, and Hitler was given absolute power of life and death.
Mein
Awesome.
Führer.
Mein Führer! I can walk!
I knew you were going to do that.
So I can't
No,
not.
it's cool. No. Dr. Strangelove is amazing.
Love it. The Doolittle raid was conducted by U.S. warplanes on the Japanese capital of Tokyo. So this kind of did a little damage, not too much though. It was mostly a morale booster for the Americans. And then also the Alfred Hitchcock directed spy thriller film Saboteur starring Robert Cummings premiered as well. I'm a big Hitchcock fan, so as soon as I saw that, I was like, all right, gotta mention that. Okay, so we have the Paramount logo on pause again. We're going to go with the magnetic telescope in 3, 2, 1, play.
$5 says the telescope is in the same mountain that the Bulleteers were, and that the
not gonna
episode
spoiler
1.
alert. You're exactly right. Right, it's still on top of a mountain overlooking the city.
It's the same mountain though, man.
Right.
It's just like different. They said,
No, really, once you see this one, it could legit be the one from the first episode.
They're just like,
not
you know
even-
what? We should make this a telescope now.
Who owns this property that keeps renting it?
Lex
That's
Luthor.
what I was gonna say. Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor.
Oh man.
See, this is why you asked me to do this, so we can just pick it up.
Because we finish each other's.
Sandwiches.
There.
All
All right, fist bump. That's exactly what I was going to say.
They're making. They're making 2. Frozen
really?
2.
Frozen
Yeah,
2?
yeah.
Okay. Is this after she's joined Professor X and the X-Men, or before?
Pretty much because she is like doing her powers.
Okay.
Like she's like in the ocean, like freezing waves and like jumping off
Right.
ice spots.
Sweet.
And I'm like, okay, where's
So
Charles?
She's a mutant. Yeah.
Welcome to
Have
the.
you heard? I heard a fan theory, and then someone told me that Disney confirmed this. That you know when? Sorry, we're on a Frozen rant here. Apparently. Yes.
they're all-
We just said this. That when her parents leave on the ship.
The ship is
that
in
she
Little
is
Mermaid.
pregnant, and when they actually survive the crash,
The Tangled.
and
Yeah.
Tarzan,
Tarzan.
their son becomes Tarzan after the boat sinking.
Huh.
That's some interesting stuff.
I thought it was. What are they looking at? The telescope?
Yes. So this episode kind of deals with. I think there was a fear of science at this point that it could potentially lead to something bad.
Did they just really just pull like a meteor out?
A comet, yeah, that's
comet?
exactly what's happening right now.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how the episode starts.
Magnetic telescope in dangerous city. Astronomical experts must cease. Or, sorry.
Experiments must cease, says the mayor.
This is the same guy, except he's like not as.
He doesn't have his bird anymore, man.
Yeah. That's why he went white?
Hmm?
Because he was like super white.
Yeah,
And now
paler.
he's pale white. This is like, tan, pink white. There we go.
But you definitely have a villain who is unsympathetic to others' problems. He doesn't see how like his ambitions should be heeded due to something small like public safety.
Yeah, because it's got to further his scientific knowledge.
And ego.
Yeah, that's true. Sounds like every scientist out there. Just kidding. No shots fired.
Right.
Oh gosh, he almost died.
Like if we had gotten caught between those.
Oh my gosh. It's not like it's gonna stop.
Imagine it cutting to that. Just like organs.
They're like 1940s. Oh my gosh.
Be like the mom and signs, like pinned between the car and
Oh,
the...
that's so depressing,
Right.
dude. No, that's so sad.
Well, what do you think is going to happen to that guy when you open
no,
the
dude,
gates?
he's dead. Like, he's cut in half.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But so was she.
No, like, she wasn't cut technically in half. She had got her artery cut. So, like, if they moved it, that she was going to bleed out.
Okay.
So,
Tell Walking Phoenix to swing.
swing away.
So the police meddle. They're trying to stop the experiment from happening, which has already started. And now because of this, so the scientist was like luring the comet to us with his magnetic telescope. But because they kind of destroyed his machinery, it's out of control and, of course, plummeting towards Metropolis.
It's going to destroy the world. Actually, just Metropolis.
There we go.
Oh, there's many comets. Are these?
Well, I mean, that would actually make sense that it would start to like break apart because the comet is just like dust and ice. And
Well, is it a comet from Krypton? Do we get kryptonite?
that would be
In this
great,
episode?
but no, we don't.
No, we don't.
No,
I
we
know
don't.
then.
That would be a great way to. Well, you would have to do some kind of timey-wimey explanation of why.
This is radioactive material from the planet Krypton.
Right, but why 30-something years later it's just now hitting... I guess it could be a drift in space somewhere,
In
and
the
this guy
magnetic-
pulled it down
with
with the
the magnet.
magnetic
Yeah.
telescope.
This would actually be like, because each of these episodes is an individual on its own.
Yeah.
So, like, that would be the first tie-in to, like, multiple episodes. Like, you have a story arc for the show.
True.
Because
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. But I don't think in the 1940s that would have gone well.
Well, and just the format that they're releasing. I remember these are in theaters, and they're
Yeah.
like before feature films and
Exactly.
stuff. And
So if you didn't see a film, you wouldn't understand,
No.
why is there correlation to this?
And animation wasn't really taken seriously at this time. Like, people thought Disney was crazy when Fantasia was going to be as long as it is, which it is too long. There's only so much of hippos and tutus dancing to classical music that I can take.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, some actual bad
Oh my
stuff is
gosh.
happening
So
here,
people
right?
are
Yeah,
dying.
Superman is not doing his job.
So, like, this is the first time where, like, you get a sense of people actually dying.
Yeah.
I mean, when the reptar-looking creature was going through, you got kind of a sense, but there was, like, people just scattering.
Yeah, it was still very cartoony.
Yeah.
This one, you're right. People on that bridge died.
Oh, they
for
died.
sure.
They're dead.
Yeah, for sure. And I like how at first when you saw Superman like beaten down on the rock there, like how hurt he actually looks. Like I like
Yeah.
that they like messed up his hair in the animation.
Like, it actually looks like right now Superman's kind of met his match because he can't just do brute strength anymore with this. He has
Well,
to
I like
get
that. That's
the-
cool that he uses the rope to
That's
kind
a-
of
a
jump
wind
start
up.
the. Mm-hmm.
Oh!
That's some classic Superman imagery there, right?
Definitely. The power must flow through me.
Mm-hmm. Connecting the two wires. You'll see that again in the same series too.
Oh,
just a couple
definitely.
episodes later.
And now he reversed the magnetic
Yep.
poles.
So we're going to use a different color to show you that the magnetic.
You know what's crazy? This comet
Different.
is green.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like,
Sure, my headcanon,
Yeah.
there's kryptonite in there. Some businessman named Lex Luthor finds it and
Hey.
studies it. And, yeah. That's why Superman was defeated there, right? On the rock, because it was kryptonite.
it was.
Cool.
But technically, kryptonite that much would kill him right then and there.
Well, yeah. Well, okay.
Oh, silhouettes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh!
Ah, but it's Clark. Who wants to kiss Clark? Nobody. Yeah.
I actually like that one. That one was really
was pretty
good
good.
because it showed Superman, like, we talk about power scaling in this, but like that actually seemed like something what Superman would have trouble with, even our power scale of Superman.
Yeah.
Like stopping a comet. I mean, Superman's not just going to go brute force that thing and punch it. I mean, Superman 1000 or Superman 1,000,000
Right.
might do
It
it.
depends on what level of
But-
Superman we're talking about here.
Like just regular, like New 52 Superman, Rebirth Superman,
Yeah.
they would have struggled with that.
I really like the power scale that Superman the animated series gave him. That he's
Yeah.
not like really overpowered. You still like feel that he could maybe be literally beaten to death in a fight if someone like got the advantage of him.
The only one where he is kind of like that is when he's fighting Darkseid.
Yeah.
He's like, I've never ever done, like, I've never let go, never. He has got one line there that says, like, I've always held back, never shown my true potential, but now I can just cut loose and do
Let's
it.
be honest, though. Darkseid should be able to kick Superman's ass.
No.
Right? What?
No.
Well, then why does it take the Justice League to stop Darkseid? If Superman can do it by himself, then why do you need that in a Justice League story?
Because I think what Darkseid does is manipulate Superman in his head. He plays mind games better than anyone. Probably better than Lex. Because he is this overwhelming factor, this overwhelming power that can be on the same level as Superman, but what gives him his prowess is the fact that his mind is so sharp and tactical. It's like Superman doesn't take fighting classes, doesn't train fighting. Darkseid was trained in the pits of Apocalypse. He knows how to fight. So he knows...
Molded by it.
I didn't see the light until I was a boy. Until I'm dead, but...
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point. You were talking about Perry White's that you like.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the guy that plays Perry White on the Lois and Clark live-action show from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been going through some of that, also on the DC app, by the way. And they mentioned something in the last one that I actually really like is Superman's, like, protective aura. Have you heard this? That, like, I remember hearing about this. It may be like
the
some,
shield
like,
that he throws off?
Byrne stuff. No, not the cellophane's S. This is basically the idea that maybe a millimeter above his skin, very small, that, like, his invulnerability extends just a little bit, right? And this is a great way to explain why Superman's costume doesn't tear or anything, and you can still let Martha Kent make it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, like, made from him since he was a baby.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ridiculous.
From fabric from Krypton.
Right, and if he's invulnerable, why does Superman need, like, Kryptonian armor on his stuff?
That's true.
So I like that better.
We got to remember that on Krypton, it doesn't get the same abilities that he does on Earth.
Well, yeah, but that's a sun thing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Colors. Right. But no, they totally, like, laid it out in one of the Superman Lois and Clark episodes. So I thought that was cool. And also then you can explain why. Remember when his cape stopped that lava?
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
There we go.
That's why. Yeah. So I like that a lot better than just like, it's Kryptonian something or whatnot.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I guess that almost gives him like a mystical power effect. Then
I remembered hearing as well for a explanation on why people couldn't tell the difference between Clark Kent and Superman was that Superman can alter his aura. So this, like, feeds into that as well.
Okay.
That, like, he could make himself be perceived as smaller, than he actually is. Meekish. There we go.
I like that.
Okay, so that was episodes 5 and 6 of the Max Fleischer Superman series. Join us next week where we watch episode 7, The Electric Earthquake, and episode 8, Volcano. Volcano is one of my favorites of this. That's a really iconic episode, I feel like.
Okay.
And then the next episode after that is going to be the switch from Fleischer Studio to Famous Studio. So that'll be a cool episode.
Cool.
So keep it tuned here to Classic Cartoon Rewind. I have been your host, Carter Hutchison.
And I'm your co-host, Mike Thomas.
This episode was produced by Huey V. We'll see you next week, kiddos.
This has been a Grassroots Comics production. Da da da! So what's your story?
What are you? Some kind of silly cartoon?
You got a problem with cartoons?